In our last winterizing video, we completed the water systems on our 2006 Meridian 341. On this video, we're going to move on to the other systems, winterizing the generators, the motor, the air conditioners, doing some battery maintenance, and finally our cleanup. To winterize these systems, we'll be using our homemade kit using a 6-gallon bucket and some funnels that fit right into the through-hole strainers. First up, we're going to work on the air conditioner. You're going to need power to use this method, so I ran my generator as my boat was on the hard and used a power cord to connect from the 50 amp inlet to the 120 volt extension cord that goes directly to my generator. I found it's easiest to winterize right through the cleanout plug for the through-hole strainers on the systems that have it. I utilized a funnel that fits inside the strainer and then hook a hose up to the funnel so the water pours from the bucket directly into the funnel. Remove the cap of the system you're looking to flush out and then remove the strainer inside. It's a good time to clean out this strainer if it's clogged with any debris. I was able to get my hands on a funnel that fit the hose perfectly, so I have no spillage over the top side of the funnel. You're going to want to secure the funnel with bungee cords. Make sure they're tight enough to limit the amount of antifreeze that's going to leak out between the through-hole strainer and the funnel. Here you can see my homemade kit. I just used a 5-gallon bucket, got myself some fittings, drilled a hole at the bottom of the bucket, and attached the clear hose to the fitting so I have an easy to turn on and off valve while I'm winterizing the system. You can see here the hose fits rather snugly right into the hole of the funnel. Before you start flushing, you want to make sure your through-hole valve is closed, or all your antifreeze will end up on the floor under the boat. Once you have antifreeze flowing into the strainer, you could go inside the boat, turn on the circuit breakers for the air conditioner, and then start it up as usual. You want to get the compressor and the water pump for the air conditioner flowing, so the pink stuff flows through the pump into the strainer and up to the air conditioners. Once your air conditioner pump kicks on, make sure your antifreeze is flowing into the strainer. Then go outside and check to make sure you have pink antifreeze coming out the through hole. I usually flow about 3 gallons through the air conditioners. Once you're satisfied enough antifreeze has flowed through the system, take the hose out, disconnect all the fittings, take your funnel out, replace the strainer, and then securely reattach the cover to the strainer. Now it's time to move on to the next project, onto the generator. The process is nearly identical for the generator as it was for the air conditioner. Open up the strainer, remove the basket, and install the funnel. Don't forget to close that through-hole fitting. Make sure that bungee cord is nice and tight. If you have to, wrap it around the fitting a couple times to get enough tension. Otherwise, you risk losing a lot of antifreeze into the bilge. Once you're ready to turn on the antifreeze, you may want to time the generator starting with the valve opening so you don't lose too much of the pink stuff down into the bilge. As with before, check the through hull and make sure you have a steady stream of pink flowing out of the through hull fitting. The generator doesn't take too much antifreeze, only a few gallons. Time to move on to the next project. The process is the same for the engines. Remove the cover, remove the strainer, install the funnel, and hook up your hose. However, with the engines, I use quite a bit more antifreeze. I put in at least 5 to 6 gallons on each engine. And once again, don't forget to close the through hull fitting. I keep saying that because I forgot to close mine when I first did the air conditioner and lost about 3 gallons on the floor. It helps to have a second person when you're doing the engines because you need to go up to the bridge to start the motors, and also you want to check the antifreeze flowing out the exhaust. Port engine is all finished. Time to move over to the starboard engine. With both engines completed, it's time to move on to the last couple projects for the day before we button her up for the winter. Before laying up for the winter, I'd like to check the house batteries and ensure that the water levels are correct in all the cells. You must use distilled water when adding water to any wet cell batteries. Don't use tap water and don't use bottled spring water, as the minerals inside the water could cause damage to the battery. My batteries had these nifty speed caps where you could remove 3 caps in one action. Make sure you wear safety glasses when working on batteries, especially when opening up wet cells. They could have some back pressure that could cause the acid to splash back in your face. You want to fill the level up to the notch inside the neck of the fill opening. Each cell needs to be filled independently, and you want to make sure you don't overfill them. A funnel would definitely make this operation easier. I thought of that after I was already in the bilge. I filled these batteries up last season, so it gives you an idea how much water it lost since the last time I topped them off. I needed to remove the battery cable to access the caps on the second battery. If you need to do that, just make sure you be careful and hook everything back up correctly. Don't cross any of the wires or short anything out. Lastly, I used a battery terminal protector spray on all the battery connections. This helps to protect the connection from any corrosion. And that's pretty much it for the wet cells. Now keep in mind, I keep these batteries in the boat during the winter. And that includes the 2 engine batteries and also the thruster batteries. I come down to the boat periodically throughout the winter to charge the batteries with the generator. There's a really good chance if I didn't charge them throughout the winter, these batteries would be dead by the summer. Winterizing a boat could get quite messy. You're going to have water, antifreeze, and all sorts of mess in the bilge of your boat. You try to limit it, but it's inevitable. Through the miracle of video editing, you didn't get to see a lot of these outtakes, but I had quite a bit of cleaning up to do. That's where you need to get yourself a nice good shop vac. Get in all those nooks and crannies and suck out all the water and antifreeze and any dirt, oil, or anything else that may have fell in the bilge over the course of the year. You want your bilge to be spotless and squeaky clean and dry once you button it up for the winter. And make sure you get the forward and mid bilge also, because that's where any water would go when you drain out the hot water tank. That completes our winterization steps for this year. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.